One thing I want you to know, chosen ones, empaths, yeah, is a lot of you look at the new supply in this light, like you say to yourself, oh, it's going to be another victim, you say, oh, the narcissist is going to persecute them and they're going to do like your ex-narcissist is going to persecute them and they're going to do the same thing they done to you and stuff like this. But I swear, I reckon in majority of the cases, 85%, 90% of the cases, especially if we were discarded, the narcissist has actually sought out a new supply prior to discarding us. They've lined up a new supply. As hurtful as that is, right? As hurtful as that is to hear, they have done so, okay? And you got to take it with a pinch of salt because, like, they were very delusional at the time when the narcissist was very delusional at the time when they'd done this, okay? They were built up so high through our energy and our light. It built them up so high that they felt that they could discard us. And I've gone into that in deep in other videos about how it ends up the narcissist ends up missing us and stuff like this, and they end up becoming thinking the grass is greener on the other side, and then when they get over there they realize it's not. But what I'm trying to say in this video is they actually got the new supply, and the new supply possibly was even aware of us, right? So we need to like hold our empathy to our own and not empathize with the new supply like they're this victim, unaware victim. A lot of the cases that the new supply knew what they were doing, yeah? They knew what they were doing. They were coming along and they were coming along and going with someone else's partner. That's what they were doing. They were talking to them. They knew about it. They were talking about us, how much we're trash. These lot were talking back and forth to each other about how much and the narcissist was putting themselves in the victim hot seat, like they're the number one victim around. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. But this is what they were doing. They were telling the new supply all about us. They were saying, oh, that we're trash and that we're this and we're that, and the new supply was soaking it up like a big sucker. Yeah, they were soaking it up and, oh, they're there and being like all sympathetic and, do you know what I mean, all this crap. Yeah, but what I want you to know, right, is moving forward, yeah, karma is setting up the narcissist and the new supply to total failure. You've got to understand that the foundations that they were built on, their relationship was built on, was off the back end of us. It was off the back end of us. It was off what we supposedly done wrong. It was off what all the bad things we supposedly done. That's what it was about. That's what their relationship was built over, if you understand me. Let me have a sip of my coffee 1 second. Yeah, so their relationship was built off that, okay? But karma, believe you me, karma comes down on them very hard for what they've done. And that's why you often experience hoovers, you often experience seeing the narcissist glorifying the new supply to the maximum, plastering it all over their social media accounts. You'll see this stuff because they're fighting a losing battle. They're actually very, they're very distraught, and karma is destroying the both of them. When them two are alone in a situation, in each other's company, you've got to understand that in most cases as well, the new supply is another toxic personality. One of these toxic personalities, sociopath, psychopath, another narcissist. They're completely toxic as well. Because anyone that comes along, right, people make mistakes, but anyone that comes along and tries to take someone else's partner, who comes along and takes the partner of someone else, right, is vile. And they will reap the seeds that they sowed. They will reap the seeds that they sowed. And this is why you can't, if you're still in a state of where you miss the narcissist, or you're still in a state where you feel very hurt by what had happened, you know, it still scars your heart a piece. Like when you think that they went off with a new supply and they're living happily ever after. They're not. They're not. It is a very toxic environment that both of those, there's no trust between themselves. There's no trust for starters, okay? There's no trust whatsoever. Narcissists don't even have trust to begin with. But when the narcissist, our ex-narcissist, view the way that they will look at the new supply, and this is through karma working. Karma is very mysterious the way it works, but the way that the narcissist will look at the new supply is like they look at the new supply like you're a sucker, because they look at them as someone who's not worthy, because the new supply knew about you. So they don't. The narcissist doesn't trust this new supply with anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't trust them about anything. And narcissists don't trust anyway. But it becomes a lot more intensified where they look at the new supply like, they look at it in a different light. They realize that this person is not someone trustworthy, and it's not someone that they can rely on. They also experience the fact of when they're alone with the new supply, finally after the dust has settled, the smear campaign's over with us. Some of us have been to courts. Some of us have been through crazy journeys, yeah? Once all the dust is settled and the narcissist has stopped soaking up this supply and they're starting to run dry, they start blaming the new supply for what happened to us. That's what the daily living will happen around the vicinity of between the new supply and the narcissist. The narcissist will blame the new supply for what happened with us. They went over there thinking the grass was greener, but the new supply, the grass is not greener. Yeah? The new supply could have been putting up as much of an illusion for the narcissist to fall into as what the narcissist done to us. The new supply is not a victim, and the narcissist is not the victim. Yeah? But the narcissist will try and portray the victim now with the new supply. They will try and portray the fact. They'll be saying things like, my ex never done this to me. You done. It will be so toxic. We've heard that. A lot of us have heard that. My ex never done this to me. This stuff, we've heard this stuff. They glorify the golden ex. We become the golden ex. You've got to understand that we become the golden ex. Especially if we've implicated no contact. We've implicated the grey rock method if we're surrounded by children. If we have to speak to them with children to do with children and stuff. Like, if we can have a total door slam and not see them again, even if we was discarded, it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing to have that in place. It's a very, very beautiful thing. But the second best option, if you have to have them involved in your life with children, is utilizing the grey rock method, because that makes them know that everything that they utter, you show no interest whatsoever. You know what I mean? When they're trying to talk about this and that, you don't want to hear it. You just grey rock them. Yeah? You make them know through your body language, through your reaction, that stuff don't run with you, and you don't want to hear about it. That you don't want to hear about that stuff. And if they want to talk about the children, you're happy-go-lucky and you will talk about the children. But other than that, you don't want to hear it. So utilizing the grey rock method is very powerful. So I don't always mention it in my videos, but a lot of you that do have children out there, trust me, man, if you're utilizing grey rock method, yeah, it's just so powerful, man. It's so powerful. Like, it's the best form, second to door slamming and getting them out your lives, because obviously you can't get them out your lives because you have children. But If you utilize the grey rock method, you have got them out of your lives because you're not involved in the ins and outs of their drama. You're not involved in the ins and outs of their dusty conversations. Yeah, they're boring conversations. You don't have to hear none of that anymore. You just talk about the children, and that's something that stimulates your mind too. Yeah, but it becomes a total disaster for the new supply and the ex-narcissist, because their relationship was built off the backbone, I can't even, it was built off the back of us, yeah? It was built off the back of us. Their whole functioning, everything was about them. So the new supply was coming in like the superhero, yeah, Captain Save-A-Hole. It was coming in like Captain Save-A-Hole, and, you know, coming to protect them and stuff like this. And once we were out the picture, it becomes very boring for them, yeah? Because they have nothing to suffice them. They have nothing to motivate them. There's nothing else going on anymore, yeah? And this is when the narcissist will start to look back on us. The narcissist will start to look back on us and realize, because a lot of us are empathetic, a lot of us had full of energy. When we first met them, we was full of energy, full of life. We had energy in abundance, yeah? We had energy in abundance. We was full of life. We often built these individuals up to such a high plateau that the narcissists then thought they could dump everything on us. But they didn't realize that they need us to be around to be at that prestigious level. Once they get rid of us, or we had to get rid of them, once ever the relationship comes to an end, the supply starts to die. The supply is gone. And they need more supply, and they realize that this new supply is not a worthy supply. And this is where karma tricks them, because they thought that the new supply had supply that they needed, a potent supply, but it wasn't. It was because it was mixed with off the back of us, what was happening between us, whether it was going through courts, whether it was going through this stuff. They had another supply there. We was the other supply that was feeding the situation. And because we kept feeding the situation, it was intensifying their relationship. But as the time goes on, it's not a happily ever after. It's not a happy ever after for the new supply and the narcissist. It's really not. It's not a happy ever after. Trust me, they're suffering. They're suffering, and I wouldn't be surprised if you ain't checking on them. I wouldn't be surprised if they've already discarded that new supply. In a lot of cases, they've got rid of the new supply. They're not even with the new supply. Or they are still with the new supply because they realize they can't get anyone else. They can't even get anyone else. The only reason why they are able to get that new supply was because of us. Because of what was happening with us in our lives, you see. That's the only way they was actually able to get the new supply. Yeah? Another thing is, the new supply might even, on the flip side of things, the new supply, after they've had their way with them and everything, they may even want this narcissist to go back to us. They may even encourage the narcissist to go back to us, because they're looking at it from a true perspective. They know the narcissist is not happy with them. They know it's not happening. They will try and encourage the narcissist to go back to us. But the narcissist, if we've implicated no contact, to the best of our ability, that is Grey Rock method as well. We've implicated no contact. We've implicated that we won't let them back in. We've implicated the fact that they overstepped the mark and they pushed our boundaries beyond expectation, and there's no longer a doorway. We've shut that door. There's no longer a doorway back into our lives. Yeah, the narcissist knows they can't go backwards. This is why they'll come with the Hoover attempts when they're with the new supply. They'll come with the Hoover attempts through, just stuff like the Hoover is not, from what I understand of the Hoover, quote me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand of the Hoover, it's not like, sorry about that. It's not like, I want you back. You don't hear that out of their mouth. you hear things like, stuff like, they'll just say something to check your temperament, basically. They'll say something like off the bat, and it will check your temperament, and off that, they have the ability to judge how healed you are, where you're at in your journey. They judge it, they dictate it off your response. They dictate it off your response. So your response will make them know whether they can get back in or not. But just know that they are suffering. This idealization that we have, that they've run off into the sunset and they're living happily ever after, and we're the ones that lost out, and we're this and we're that. They're not. They're suffering. Karma's come with a wrath. It's come with a wrath, and it's tearing them down day by day. It's coming with a wrath, and it's tearing them down day by day. That is what is happening. They can't communicate. They can't be in the same rooms together. Yeah, they're suffering. Yeah, even when intimate, RX Narcissist is making the new supply do stuff that we used to do sexually. Yeah, the narcissist is so caught up on the fact that they thought the grass was greener when they went over there, and then they're caught up with the fact that they realize it's not greener, and they live in absolute dread because all they want is us back in their lives. So often they'll actually discard this new supply, or the new supply will realize, maybe the new supply will have a bit more of their wits about them, and they'll realize, okay, what's happening, and they'll end it. Yeah, but this you've just got to see how it's not a happy ever after. A lot of us mistakenly think that it's a happy ever after because we see the social media. We see the social media, we see a photo with some filters, we see a photo with them walking along the beach or something. We see them doing something and we think, oh no, they've got away from us, they're living happily ever after. They've put that I've always say this, they've put the photo on Facebook or Instagram or whatever the thing is, yeah, to show you what it's about. They've done it with you in mind, and they was already at the point of when they've realized they made a dreadful mistake. And it's not a dreadful mistake where they feel like it's a heartfelt moment, like they feel guilty and blah, blah, blah. It's actually a self-absorbed point of view where, because their supply is no longer fulfilled and they're like cats, they realize, I don't know why I said cats, but they're just like rats actually, and they need some more supply. So they'll go through all sorts of rubbish to get that new supply, that supply back from you in any way, which shape or form. And this is because karma is tearing them up. Karma is absolutely destroying their minds, destroying all parts of them. It's destroying them from inside out. And that's what's happening, okay? You have to see this. You have to see this. It's not happy ever after. So don't worry about what's happening with them. Don't worry at all. You've got to count your blessings. If this person exited your life, whether you had to get rid of them or they discarded you, whatever which way it was, yeah, it's a beautiful divine intervention that took place to cause a separation from between yourselves, and let them go off into the world, and then be faced with a realization that they need you back in their lives. Some of them will go and indulge in drugs afterwards because they've realized that they can't get your supply back. They'll indulge in drugs and drink. People do drugs and drinks from all aspects, from all categories of life. Some empaths, or some, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying they'll abuse it to the fact that some of them will eventually even lead to death. They'll lead to death because of the wrong decisions they've made. yeah? When we may have been the people that would have been caring for them if they were still with us. But when they were the new supply, another scumbag, they're both as scummy as each other. Karma will cause a very, very dangerous repercussions for what they've done to us. And karma comes and eats them up hard. It comes for them hard. So you have to see that the inner minds and the inner mind of them, yeah, is plagued with confusion. It's plagued with second guessing. They're both second guessing each other. They don't trust each other as far as you could throw them. They don't trust each other at all. Yeah. They're also not stimulated by one another, because the stimulation of the relationship between themselves, of the new supply and the narcissist, was off us. It was off the back of us. That's the only reason why it got intensified. And that's the only reason why it was able to progress in the way it did. Because of us. There was no other reason. Like, the narcissist was either doing a victim story. Oh, my partner's treating me like this. Oh. Sorry about that. I went a bit over the top there. But they're acting like a victim. This is what they do. They act like a full-fledged victim. Yeah, victim. And they'll be doing this, and the new supply will be eating it up like a little lapdog, soaking up it. I'm going to help you. I told you the story. In another video. I remember one day I was at the house, and I heard bang, 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 bang at the door. All this banging, yeah? Not at the front door, but at the flat door, yeah? And there was only one flight of stairs. And I heard all this smashing. I said, hey, I'm going up there. And then the narcissist said, no. Don't go down. There's a child here. We shouldn't do it. We shouldn't go down. Don't go down. I was like, what are you going on about? Let me go down. There's someone that I can hear at the flat door. It was only one flight of stairs down to the flat door. Just one flight. About 12 steps down to the flat door. Inside each flat, there was 2 flats and one access door. And I said, and we started arguing. I said, I'm going down. I just want to see what's happening. Who's that? Do you know what I mean? And she goes, no, it's dangerous. There's a child in the house. And then she gaslit me to the point where I started to feel like I was in the wrong, to the point where I'm endangering the child in the house. Yeah. And I didn't look. But it's only now I realised that was a Captain Save-A-Hole that come with the cape. Yeah, there was a big Captain Save-A-Hole that started flying through the sky. Yeah, and I'm joking, but they started flying around there because they've heard all of the stuff that I had probably supposedly done wrong. And they were coming to save them. That's what it was. I know it. I know it in my heart, my spirit. I have no factual, but I know that's what it was. It's, you know what I mean? People don't just come and run up on someone's house like that. Run up on you know what I mean? It was, that's what it was. That's what was happening. But the narcissist was literally crying when I was trying to go downstairs. The narcissist was in tears. The narcissist was in tears, like crying, like so much. Don't go down. So dramatic, like over dramatic, like proper dramatic. Just crying. And that's what they do. They start to cry when they want their own way, don't they? They cry and stuff like that. Like they can put on the tears like anything if they want to. But what my point of that, why I brought up that scenario there, is this was when they was training the new supply. They were trying to train the new supply, but this is where, as I said to you a few times now, their relationship was built off the back of us. It has no foundation to stand on. And this is where karma eats them up. Karma destroys them because of this. Karma was destroying them from the start when it was even happening. It was them that was delusional, thinking they had something that was there. It wasn't there. That's where karma just done a trickery on them. But anyway, it's first thing in the morning, so forgive how I've done this video today. I was a bit scrappy with it, but please press the like and subscribe button. And if you do want a one-to-one session, you can find the details in the description box. Anyway, I'll catch you all soon. Peace.